In today's video, we're going to have a nice discussion about when is the appropriate time to integrate your younger ducks in with the old ducks. Turkey. Come on, girls. Time to find some bugs, okay? Come on, duck. Come on, duck. There's Chunk and Fozzie having a meeting after their job, trying to decide why they didn't get enough production done. What are you doing? A little bit of work and you're chilling out. Hey? Hey, buddy. We just had an incident, the fence fell down and all the ducklings are out. There they are right there. They're kind of separated from the big ducks and the geese are watching them like a hawk. That's the first time this has ever happened to me. Now they're just mingling right into the flock. Maybe today's just a good day to integrate them in with the flock, you know? It's a little bit early, but I think they'll be okay. It's like, so what? It's just a little bit early. They look like they're mingling in. Like, how am I supposed to separate them now? Did you see the fence fall over? Hopefully the camera got it. They were all just enjoying their water bin that I just gave them. And then the wind blew and the fence came over. Mind you, I didn't secure the fence very good, but I've been doing this for months. I haven't had a problem. This is the first time that this situation has ever happened where I'm just accidentally integrating the younger ducks at this point in time. Usually I plan it out a little bit better, but an accidental wind gust blew the fence over, and I mean, they're integrated now. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna chase them down to try to separate them? That's craziness. I think they'll be okay. Now, if you think about ducklings hatching in the wild with their mom and dad, you know, if you think about that scenario, they can obviously swim like on the second or third day, you know what I mean? They get hatched, they're kind of wet, the mama's gonna clean them off and dry them off. They're walking around with the mama immediately. It's not like they're being kept protected in a brooder house like the way we do it here on the farm. They don't really have an artificial heat source in the wild. They just probably snuggle up to the mama and, you know, she kind of sits on them and keeps them warm. Whereas us, we have to provide them artificial heat because they don't have feathers. Now, when it comes to deciding when you're gonna put your younger ducks in with the older ducks after hatching your own ducklings like us in our situation, there's a couple things that I think you need to keep in mind and think about. One of them is obviously the food, right? So when you hatch chicks or ducklings, you feed them a starter feed. Looks like they want to join the big ducks over there. And you feed them the starter feed while they're very young. And the starter feed has the good nutrients for the young birds. It's in smaller bite-sized chunks so that they're not going to be choking on the big sizes. Kind of like a crumble, you know, the one that we buy anyways. After several weeks, you graduate them to a grower feed. And this, again, it's the next stage. And then after you have them on the growing feed for a long time, like a couple of months, then you can graduate them to the layer feed. If you use our example, these guys should be eating grower feed. They should probably be eating grower feed for the next couple weeks. Keep in mind too that these are not meat birds. These are for our flock. We hatched out a bunch more ducklings to replenish some of our flock because some of the flock is 5 years old this year. So over the next couple of years, they're gonna slow down their egg production and we're gonna have to be figuring out the replacement of them, you know. There's the geese, there's the old ducks, and there are the ducklings. They're just eating grass, eating bugs right now. And they're all sticking together in their own little mini flock, which is expected. But they sure do have a lot of freedom now. Watch out, guys, the geese are coming. The geese are coming. That's it, join up with the flock. So in our situation right now that these ducklings have like escaped, okay? So if I put them in at the end of the day in the duck house with all the old ducks, they only have the layer feed. They don't have grower feed. Now, if I use a small bowl and fill it up with grower feed, there's no guarantee that only those ducklings are gonna get the grower feed, right? Because any of the ducks in there could be eating the grower feed as well. So I don't think there's any ideal in that situation. You just have to play it by ear. Definitely the ducks are not going to get hurt or their growth is going to be stunted just by giving them layer feed at this point in time. Not that I believe in any case. But it is something to be weary of if the ducklings are still at a younger age than ours. Ours are about half size now, so I think it's okay. Another thing to be mindful of is your fencing. And I know we had a funny mishap today that our little temporary fencing for the duckling blew over in the wind. That's just a one-off. That's not normal. But we have a poultry netting that goes all the way around the orchard here. I think the ducklings can easily get stuck in the netting. So it is a little bit of a risk because the netting has a little bit bigger holes, you know, they're about 4-inch holes. And I don't think the duckling can actually squeeze through the holes because these guys are big enough already. But it's something for you to think about when putting younger birds in a bigger holding area like our orchard here. How is the fencing going to work? It's okay, ducklings. I mean, at what point are they not ducklings anymore? These guys, I guess they're not really ducklings anymore. They're growing their feathers, but they're more like teenager ducks. And they haven't yet found the pond, but I want to see if I can get some footage of them finding the pond. I think the other thing to think about too when it comes to putting your young ducks in with the old ducks is the time of year. So you wouldn't want to be doing that during spring breeding season because all the drakes are going to be trying to mate all the other young birds. And that's probably not going to go over well with the young birds. I think I'm a little bit okay at this point in the game because the mating has really died off as the year has progressed. Now we're already into the fall. It's like the third week of September. So I don't think there's a whole lot of mating going on. Maybe it's a slight risk, I don't know. But they're mating a whole lot less than what they did in the spring, that's for sure. That's it, team. Eat up all the bugs. We don't want any bugs around here. Not good for the orchard trees. Watch it, here come the geese. Here come the geese. You gotta have your head on a swivel when it comes to those geese. So far the geese are being okay though. We'll have to see at the end of today how easy it is to get them to follow the other ducks and go into this duck house. Keep in mind, they don't know this duck house. They don't know the routine. They don't know what tulu gana means, which means go to bed in Filipino. All they've known so far is living inside the little brooder house. So it's going to be interesting later. Got to make sure these guys get fresh water all the time. Especially with these new ducklings joining the crew. We have a bulk feeder here and it holds 4 bags of feed. I built this a few years ago and the ducks are able to put their neck in there and get the food. Now, these ducklings won't be able to do that, so I'm gonna have to have a separate bowl for feed. This is just grower feed right here for these young ducks. And if the old ducks eat a little bit of it, nothing I can do, but at least the young ducks have it available. We keep geese in the orchard here with the ducks in this whole area because the geese are actually the guards of the duck. And so far it's a very good system. They are to protect the ducks. They protect the ducks from the aerial predators, you know, because nobody really wants to mess with a goose. They honk and they're loud and obnoxious and they're just belligerent sometimes. So I think smaller type predators and aerial predators are aware that geese are like this and they just keep their distance. I'm talking like fox and raccoon and weasels and stuff like smaller stuff like that. I think if a bigger animal like coyote or bobcat or something was hungry enough and daring enough, the goose wouldn't stop them, right? Like they'd be able to just kill a goose like no problem. But so far we haven't lost any ducks to any predators in 5 years. So I think that's saying something, that the system for the majority of the time is working okay. And it's always helpful if you have a big fluffy sheepdog like Olive here to protect your ducklings, make sure that none of the baddies are going to get them. It's always nice watching nature in action. Looks like the ducklings went back to their own little water bin. They're wondering what's going on. How come there's no fence here, guys? I think you would have to be satisfied that the threat of cold is gone. Now, it's a little bit colder at nights here in Ontario, Canada, where we are. They have a good amount of feathers already. I'm really not worried about it. And even though I've had a heater inside their little brooder house there, I've seen them on many occasions when I've come here early in the morning, and they're not even under the heater. They're kind of just out in the run area there. So I'm quite confident that it's not going to be an issue, but it is something to think about if you're in a cold climate or if it's early in the spring where it's not really summer heat yet. You have to pay attention, make sure they're fully feathered so that they won't get frozen and hypothermia and all that, because young birds are somewhat fragile. You know, they need to be kept warm at night. Okay, I think there's too many ducks in the pond. What are you guys doing? That's 4 ducks in there. That's 5 ducks. 5 ducks in the water. Splish splash, I was taking a bath. All they got to do is go over there to that water, but they don't know what to do. I really like our system here of free-ranging these birds out in our orchard area. This entire area here that you see, a little fenced in there, all of this is about half the orchard. The other half of the orchard is all the way down there by the mulberry trees. There's pear trees. And we have 40 plus trees in this orchard. And it's a combination of apples, pears, plums, peaches, cherries. We have some walnuts, some chestnuts. And it's been a few years since we planted them, and we're trying to take care of them the best we can. And basically, 10 years from now, this area that you see right here is going to look a lot different, because all these trees are going to be big and producing. See, the geese are being okay. The geese, basically, they know that they're not strangers, because my system is to raise the ducks in here so they can see each other through the fence. It makes things a whole lot easier, the transition period. I've done it earlier this year as well. So there's 3 older ducks that are in here. Just put them in here a couple months ago. I don't even know which ones they are, to be honest. I think that one right there, that first duck right there, I think that's one of those younger ducks. But I don't know which ones are the other one. Maybe it's that one there, because the feathers look so brand new. It's hard to tell though. I feel like they're loving life right now though. They're able to explore. They're getting a lot of good exercise, which is going to help their leg development. They're getting some bugs. They're getting some grass. And they can hang out with their new family. The goose is eating the grass as well, which is good. Makes these animals very sustainable. Very sustainable. But I think it's a really great system to keep ducks out here, because the ducks do not ruin the pasture grass. If we had chickens out here, the chickens are constantly scratching at the ground, and then over several months and years, all your grass is going to be dead, because the chickens are just squishing it and scratching it. But also, just like chickens, ducks do eat a lot of insects, and the idea, they will somewhat help to protect your orchard trees from insects. Now, it's not a perfect system, because we still have Japanese beetles every year. Those are a nuisance. But I think overall it's helping. We just can't see the degree at which it's helping. And of course, both the geese and the ducks are fertilizing the entire area here. So this past summer was super hot and dry. We didn't have any rain, and this whole area was brown. Now we've had a bit of rain coming into the fall here, and look at it. That rain in combination with all of the duck poop and the goose poop, this is the result. Look how green and lush it is. And the birds are loving it. You know, watching them eating the grass, pecking at the grass, foraging for bugs. And I think it's just an overall great system. Hi ducklings, how are ya? After a few more weeks, I won't even be able to tell them apart. With like those guys right now, you can see that they're the young ones. And those ones are the old ones, just by the sheer size, and you can see that they have more feathers. The young ones just have like peach fuzz. I can see the ducklings are looking at the water. They're looking at it. They don't know. Do I just jump in? Do I dive in? Do I jump in? Do I go head first or what? So they're kind of deciding what to do at this point in time. Jump in. You're gonna float. You're a duck. You got waterproof feathers. Trust me. Trust in nature. I know they'll go in eventually. I'm just trying to capture it on film, you know? Come on, duckling, jump in. Jump, jump, jump. Jump around. Oh, you're almost in. I saw it. You're almost in. Oh no, I think they found some kind of a wasp's nest. Get out of there, geese. What happened? Get out of there. Out. Oh no. The ducks disturbed some kind of a wasp's nest. You guys better jump in the water. Get out of there. Olive, out. Out. Get out of here. Let's go. What are we going to do there? Get out of there, geese. You're going to get stung. You guys okay? Oh man, there's a little bit of a wasp nest there. That's not cool. I bet you the ducks or the geese disturbed it. That's why they were all getting mad. You guys are really eating on that grass, huh? You're gonna get thirsty soon. Now, if you're in a situation where you've had the mother hen duck sitting on the eggs and hatching her own eggs, it's perfectly okay to have the mom raise the ducklings. You know what I mean? It's not a problem at all. It wouldn't work in our situation because of the system with the duck house and then getting the ducks out in the parade every morning to come out here. Small ducklings wouldn't be able to go in and out like that. So that's why I end up separating the ducklings from the hatch. I also hatched a bunch in the incubator myself, and that's how we ended up with all these beautiful ducklings. It's okay, ducklings, you can go in the water. You're all right. Just follow the old ducks. They'll take care of you. I know you know how to swim. Ducklings know how to swim like as soon as they're born. No, you just want to forage, eh? I actually don't know if there's any absolute ideal timing to integrate your younger birds, but definitely you have to use your own judgment. And some of the things that I talked about throughout the video is stuff really that you need to focus on and think about because, you know, you want to give them the best chance at survival as possible. You can't reach the water from up there. You got to jump in. It's not that high. It's only a few inches. There, one of the ducklings is in. They fell in. It's okay, just swim. Don't try to get out. You won't make it. Oh no, she's scared. Hopefully she can get out. Come on, you guys all gotta jump in there. I'll get you out if you can't get out. Oh, there, he got out already. There, she got out. See, it wasn't so bad. I know you can get out. The water level's really high right now. That was fun, wasn't it? Your first dip? Accidental dip. They fell in and I didn't capture it on film. See, when the old ducks are getting out of the water, they have a technique where they smack their wings on the water really fast and kind of propel themselves out of the water. I've seen it happen. Now, these ducklings are not going to have that kind of strength built up. They don't even have proper size wings yet. There are lots of other ways for them to get out. They can get out all along this edge here. You know, the water level is pretty close here. We also have that log right there. And if you follow the log, they could easily just go there and then walk up the log to get out. There's other areas around the liner that they could get out as well. But I'm going to be here in any case, and I'll help them get out if they're stuck. Dive in. You don't want to mess with the wasps. Well, I'm going to leave the ducklings for a little while and go do some other farm work, but I'm just going to show you the process of me calling them all back in, because I don't know how that's going to go. It might be a little comical to see them trying to figure out and watching me kind of herd them into their new duck house. Okay, gonna make an attempt at getting all these ducks back in nice and easy, nice and neat, into the Ducky Bunky run here. And to be honest, Oliver, you coming? And to be honest, I think I better get the geese in first, just to kind of get them out of the way. Chulugana geese! That's nice and easy. Now all the ducks are already trained to go back. I don't even have to say Chulugana or go to bed. The ducklings are not. The problem is I didn't yet open up the fence there, so the ducks can't go forward. So I'm gonna have to do the whole thing over again and hope that maybe the ducks will be closer with the ducklings, and then the ducklings will just follow through, maybe, hopefully. Get out of here, ducks. You're leaving our ducks. You too, babies. Chulugana, guys. Chulugana, ducklings. Chulugana means follow the ducks. Okay, 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 okay. You're looking out, ducklings. Come on, guys. Don't astray. Don't astray. Don't go around the fence. Just go in. Yes! Well, it'll probably take them a couple days just to get accustomed to the new routine, but I think they're very adaptable. They are. And I've experienced that year over year as we hatch new ducklings and group them in with the old ducks. That wasn't so bad, right, ducklings? You got fresh water. What are you panicking about? You got your new family right there. Let's get this out of the way so that they can't escape. Come on, ducklings, what are you doing? Now you're all wet. Okay. Everybody be nice to the ducklings tonight, okay? It's your first night. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. A little bit of action, a little bit of fun. And I really do appreciate you watching. If you want to watch another video about ducks and you really love the ducks here on the farm, as I do, I have a video that I did last year, and it's all about why I believe every orchard should keep ducks and geese free ranging, you know. And I thought this video might have gone viral, but it didn't. But maybe you guys can give it a watch for me and see what you think, and put a comment if you enjoy the video. And I really do appreciate all you can do and your support building up our channel. Thanks, Olive. That was a lot of help there, girl. Let's go.